Second.
Okay. Hey, do me a favor.
Never did. Never did.
Thank you all for coming today. We are obviously here to talk about our very important ongoing serial street shooter investigation. Please hold all the questions until the end. I'm not sure how many there will be. We've released most of the major investigative details, but please hold them until the end. Joining us today are the agencies that are most closely involved with the investigation through either financial or investigative support. I'd like to welcome Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich, obviously Phoenix Police Chief Joe Yonner, Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI Phoenix Field Office, Michael Caputo, Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery, United States Marshal for the District of Arizona, David Gonzalez, and Assistant Special Agent in charge, Mark Murray from ATF. So thank you, and with that, I'd like to introduce Mayor Greg Stanton.
Thank you very much. I also want to introduce Councilman Michael Nowakowski, who is Chair of the Public Safety Subcommittee of the Phoenix City Council. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This ongoing serial street shooter case has created a tremendous amount of fear among residents across our entire city, and it's created a tremendous amount of resolve to bring this killer to justice. I want to point out that I referred to this as a serial street shooter case. This is not the Maryvale shooter case. Any false impression that this shooter, this evil person, is limiting his activities in Maryvale is false. Sadly, there has been tragic activities by this shooter outside of Maryvale and other parts of the city, and there's no reason to think that if we don't catch this killer soon, that he might not move on to other parts of the valley as well. That's in part why we have so many leaders in law enforcement here working together with the Phoenix Police Department to bring this killer to justice. Chief Yonner, I know this is personal for you and every one of your officers. There are as much or more resources, detective officers, cooperating agencies dedicated to solving these murders as any task force that I have seen in my time in public life. So I want to thank you for pulling together such an impressive team of local, state, and federal law enforcement officers to keep a spotlight on this tragic case. I want to personally say thank you to General Brnovich, County Attorney Bill Montgomery, Michael Caputo of FBI, David Gonzalez, U.S. Marshals, all the law enforcement that are working together as a team because they care passionately about solving this case. I think that this shows the people of Phoenix, particularly Maryvale and East Phoenix, but all parts of the city and the valley, that the Phoenix Police Department is resolute to solve this case and to work with our partners in this matter. I know we are going to catch this criminal, and we're going to return peace of mind to the people of our city and to our neighborhoods. And there may be someone watching right now who knows something. It may be just a gut feeling or an intuition. Maybe you recognize something about the suspect's sketch that the Phoenix Police Department have released. Maybe you recognize something about the description of the suspect's vehicle. You may be struggling with the decision right now about whether you want to come forward and provide this critically important information to the Phoenix Police Department. Well, on behalf of everyone standing up here, as mayor of this city, on behalf of the family of law enforcement who cares passionately about solving this crime and protecting these neighborhoods, I want you to know that if you make that call to Silent Witness, if you make that call to Phoenix Police Department, you are doing the right thing. That tip to Silent Witness can help. 480-WITNESS, 480-948-6377. You can remain anonymous if you would like, but the victims of these shootings, their families. They need justice and closure. They deserve it. Our neighborhoods deserve peace. So as mayor, I'm confident that the Phoenix Police Department, working with these outstanding agencies, state, local, federal, are going to solve this crime, and they will not rest until this killer is caught. Next to say a few words is our great police chief, Joe Yonner.
Good afternoon. The purpose of this press conference is to continue to emphasize the importance of community assistance as well as the invaluable role you play in getting information out to our community. The media is huge in this. The information that you put out helps us or will help us solve this crime. We believe by continuing to focus on this case, it will lead to information to help us solve it. We also want the community to know that we have many partners assisting with the investigation, both from a resource perspective and a financial perspective. Because of their support, we've been able to increase the award offered through Silent Witness. Some of our partners are here today, and they'll be speaking. We work very well together. We have in the past. We are working great together now, but our work is not done. We still have an outstanding suspect. This investigation is the #1 priority for the Phoenix Police Department. You all know how many instances we've had. We've had 7 homicides, 7 victims of homicides related to this series. As the mayor said, these incidences are not just isolated to the city's west side. Crimes in this series have occurred in the areas extending from Camelback Road to Van Buren Street, from 73rd Avenue to 32nd Street. To date, we've received and investigated approximately 1,500 tips from our community. That's in addition to the leads and evidence that our detectives have developed during the course of the investigation. And this is why your assistance is so important. When you, the media, provides coverage on this story, we see an increase in the number of tips submitted by our community members. And that's important because we all know, and we collectively know, that somebody out there has information about the suspect involved in these crimes, and we desperately need that information. I'm asking our entire community, media included, to participate in this investigation. That means raising the level of awareness in our neighborhoods and reporting suspicious people or vehicles. We encourage people who believe they have information to help solve this crime to call Silent Witness. The City of Phoenix, with the continued support of Mayor Stanton, the men and women of the Phoenix Police Department, our partners that are here today and others that are not, we will continue to engage our community and do everything possible to try to solve these crimes. Thank you. Again, media, thank you for continuing to focus on this investigation. It's going to pay dividends sooner or later, so thank you. Next to speak is Attorney General Mark Brnovich.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for everyone present today. I don't have any prepared remarks, but I did want to say a few things. First and foremost, the Arizona Attorney General's Office is announcing today that we are contributing an additional $25,000 to the reward to make sure that we're doing everything we can to apprehend this individual. We know that someone out there knows who this person is. Maybe someone they work with, someone they go to church with, or maybe someone they go to, someone maybe even in their own family. And so we know that someone out there has information. And we want to remind folks, the life you save may be your very own, or maybe someone of one of your loved ones. No one in this community deserves to live in fear, and this is an entire community issue. No one deserves to worry about their kids being shot while they're in the playground, or whether they're going to get attacked while on their way to the grocery store. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to catch and apprehend this suspect, and that's why I'm also very proud to be working with law enforcement at all levels, whether it's the local level, and we're fortunate the Phoenix Police Department is one of the premier agencies in the entire country, and that they're working on this case, that we have folks here from the FBI, that we have folks from the Marshal's Office, from the County Attorney's Office, state, local, federal law enforcement working together, because frankly, this is our highest priority, and one of the core functions of government must be to do everything we can to keep our community safe, and that's what we're doing. That's why we increase this reward, to bring awareness, because we know someone out there knows something, and we want you to contact the authorities. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, and I want to congratulate Attorney General Brnovich on offering an additional $25,000 to the reward and for his leadership and friendship and partnership and law enforcement here within Maricopa County and across the state. Me being here this afternoon should underscore my office's commitment and shared resolve with the people of Phoenix, the Phoenix Police Department, and the City of Phoenix leadership to help try and bring this person to justice. It rings hollow when we talk about low crime rates and how well our communities are doing across the county in dealing with violent crime and other issues related to criminal activity if we have this kind of activity going on and people do not feel safe within their neighborhoods. So we want to underscore that we're standing by shoulder to shoulder with our law enforcement partners. We're here to further illustrate the degree to which law enforcement works together here within Maricopa County, both vertically and horizontally. Oftentimes criminals don't represent or respect jurisdictional boundaries, and so we're not going to rely on jurisdictional boundaries to prevent a teamwork approach to helping to fight for public safety on behalf of everybody who lives within the City of Phoenix and Maricopa County and across our shared and respected jurisdictions. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Caputo. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge over criminal programs for the state of Arizona for the FBI. I want to echo what's already been said. Our thoughts are certainly with the victims of these horrific acts, their families and friends. We are truly very sorry for all of your losses and your suffering, and please know that law enforcement community is doing everything we can, combining resources, manpower, and working together to put an end to this. I'd like to first of all acknowledge Chief Yonner. We appreciate your leadership in this and the Phoenix Police Department as a whole. Just outstanding leadership shown throughout this investigation. We will continue to assist the Phoenix Police in whatever resources the FBI can offer. I want to speak role in a case such as this. Every day the FBI works closely with state, local, and federal and tribal law enforcement agencies to ensure the safety and well-being of our communities. In this particular case, we are providing assistance, as we have done in the past and will continue to do in the future, at the request of our law enforcement partners. We've received some questions on some of the specific things we're doing, and I'll start off with, first of all, monetarily. As many of you know, last month we did contribute to the reward for the information leading to the arrest and conviction of the serial killer. And investigatively, the FBI, we are currently leveraging all of our resources both here in Phoenix and through FBI headquarters in order to try to bring a resolution and solve this case. One of the things specifically that we're doing, in addition to covering leads and providing resources for the Phoenix Police Department, has been in the area of behavioral analysis. So I'm going to talk just briefly about that. What is behavioral analysis? The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit is one of many tools that we have in our toolbox. Our law enforcement partners can request at any time the use of our Behavioral Analysis Unit for assistance in any case, which in this case we have, or they have. BAU personnel have traveled to Phoenix. They have visited various crime scenes within the Phoenix area with Phoenix Police Department detectives. They are working collaboratively with the Phoenix Police Department to provide insight and assistance possible in hopes of helping identify the shooter and bring resolution to this case. Specifically because we understand the families are grieving and they're looking for answers. BAU investigators have specialized training and they bring a unique insight into these types of cases, which is why we brought them in this case. Due to the ongoing nature of this investigation, for obvious reasons, I won't elaborate any further on the resources we are providing as far as that, but I did want to make a statement about the behavioral analysis piece. I want to stress, and it's been said, I want to stress the importance of community assistance. We too are asking for the community's assistance to help solve this case. We encourage citizens with any relevant information, regardless of how insignificant it may seem, to contact the police department on this. The Phoenix Police Department, our local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, prosecutors, and the FBI will continue to work tirelessly on this case to ensure that the people we serve are safe and that justice is served. Thank you very much.
Will you give your last name again, please? Spelling?
Caputo, it's spelled C-A-P-U-T-O. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. David Gonzalez, United States Marshal for the District of Arizona. One of the criticism that law enforcement gets nationally is that we are fragmented, and especially in cases like this where you have lots of murders over a large geographic area, that we don't work well together. Well, I'll tell you, in the Valley of the Sun here, that is definitely not the case, as you see here today. We are sharing resources. We are sharing intelligence. All of us are putting additional manpower on the streets, doing all kinds of different conflict resolution to look at leads. And we also know that serial killers like to brag about the atrocities that they commit. And we don't think that this is any different with this case. That is why the media is so important, as already mentioned here, because there are persons that know what happened, or who this individual is, and if we can just get to that person, that could give us that one little bit of piece of information that we could follow up on. Thank you very much.
We also want to make sure to recognize the Arizona Department of Public Safety. They are also contributing both financially and investigatively. They unfortunately could not join us today. As we've heard echoed again and again, we appreciate your support, helping us to keep this active and current information in our community. Some very experienced law enforcement officers up here today have told you again and again that the solution to this ongoing threat is going to come from a tip from our community. And that's why we're out there working to keep the information as current and active as we can. Please continue to encourage your audiences to report any unfamiliar people, suspicious vehicles, or people within their neighborhoods to either the Phoenix Police Department for emergency or active incidents or silent witness for more investigative purposes. As we've heard, the silent witness reward is now $75,000 for information leading to the arrest of this suspect. With that, unfortunately, there are no new investigative details that have come out today, so I don't know what additional questions you may have, but thank you all for coming.
Can we ask questions?
You can try.
Can you tell us what the behavioral analyst is saying about this killing?
No, sir, not at this time. It's not something we've released during a pending investigation until at which time the local agency deems that might be appropriate.
Can you tell us when the FBI got involved with this case? And also, can you confirm that July 11th was the last confirmed incident involving the serial shooter?
Yeah, I'm not going to confirm any specific investigative details. Once again, I'm going to defer to Phoenix Police Department. I can tell you that we were involved in the case as soon as Phoenix asked for our assistance and as soon as we realized that there might be some opportunity for us to provide some resources to help.
Was that this month or last month?
It was near the beginning. I can't confirm exactly when, as soon as we determined that this was maybe more than an individual incident. So I don't have an exact date for you.
Chief, can you comment on when did you determine this was more than an individual incident, and when did you bring the FBI in?
We determined this was a series of incidents back in mid-June. I'm not the chief, but. He was looking at me, he was looking at me.
Just so you know, Ray, stripes mean sergeant, stars mean general, yes.
Whoever speaks, can they go to the microphone? Whoever speaks, can go to the microphone.
We first identified that there was a series going on back after the June 12th incident. We identified 4 cases pretty quickly and then expanded that out to include the additional incidents, including the ones on the east side that occurred back to March. And that's when we began to form a task force involving many of these agencies you see here today. And I can also confirm that July 11th is the last known incident that's occurred.
Can you share what specifically brought you to believe that these were linked?
Well, it's a totality of the evidence that we've gathered. So it started with investigators recognizing that there was a lot of similarities in the method of operation used by the suspect. And we were seeing in what appeared to be a small area of our city, 4 people that were killed during the evening in residential neighborhoods. They were basically alone or in a small group at night, in or outside a vehicle, out in front of a residential home. So that's where it went, and then we've added additional physical evidence as well as witness testimony that has allowed us to definitively link these.
How many detectives are on the case? Is ballistics part of that physical evidence that you've been looking at?
Absolutely, as part of the overwhelming amount of physical evidence that we have, yes.
How many detectives and how many hours are you?
Hours, I can tell you that 24/7. We are working 24 hours a day on this case, 7 days a week. We have dozens of investigators at our stations working it constantly, and we have dozens of officers and detectives out on the streets following up on any tips that we get and patrolling our neighborhoods.
You say July 11th is the last confirmed date. Do you think there are any chance that there are cases you're working on now that might eventually be tied into this, or have you pretty much ruled it out for anything since?
It's hard to say 100% it's ruled out, but every incident that comes in that could have any relation, we are immediately going out investigating as thoroughly as possible. And at this point, we've ruled all of them out. I have to leave a little bit open because you just don't know if he's changed his method of operation. But at this point, we're unaware of any additional ones.
Chief John, and I'll look at you.
Thank you.
I think it was the mayor who said that he's never seen as many resources put towards anything in the last, in any investigation, whatnot. Yet you're 600 officers down. So how are you managing the resources on this case when you have so few officers on the street than you did, say, during the baseline killer spree?
Well, we're doing it as efficiently and as effectively as we can. You're right, we're down a few officers. We're hiring officers right now. We have new officers graduated a class just last Friday. So we're increasing our manpower on the streets through new recruits, but it is difficult. This is our number one priority. So we are pushing all information, all detectives towards this. So as John stated, we're out there 24/7. Incident happens, we respond to the scene. We're doing everything we possibly can. We're managing. More than anything. I want to recognize Chief Mary Roberts. She's kind of our task force leader in charge of our investigations division. She's been in every Saturday and Sunday since this thing started, just trying to continue to coordinate our efforts in the efforts of our partners so that we can solve this case.
I also heard from people in the community as well as officers on the street that feel like they don't have a lot of information on this. And this is, I believe, I've been off over the last few weeks a little bit here and there, so I believe though this is the first large news conference that you've had regarding this. So is there a reason why we haven't seen all of your faces out in front of this in the media to keep this alive? It seemed like
A couple comments. First of all, if you're referring to officers that are saying they don't know anything about this, I'd like to know who they are, because this is our number one priority, and we have put information out time and time again. This is a collaborative effort of the entire Phoenix Police Department and our law enforcement partners behind us. As far as us being here today, we want to continue to keep it fresh. So we wanted to continue. There's been information. There's an article in the paper today. Every time we put some information out, we do a press conference or we put a press release out. Anytime our Silent Witness Award has increased, we've put some information out to the media, to our community, and we know it helps. So again, I can't emphasize how important you are, each of you, putting information out so that we can get tips. Because as everybody stated, somebody out there knows something, and we need that information. We don't want any more victims. We want to solve this thing, and we want to do it by 6 o'clock tonight if possible. We want it done.
And have you found, or do you suspect that any people may not have come forward because they were afraid of their immigration status being released or known by
That's why we have Silent Witness. It's anonymous. That should not be an issue. Silent Witness, yes. Sure, go right ahead.
Let me be perfectly clear. Anyone who comes forward to assist with this case, whether a witness or a victim, their immigration status will not be considered whatsoever. And I will not accept for charging any case that arises out of someone's immigration status that was revealed as a consequence of this investigation. No charges whatsoever from my office. This is a team effort, everybody in the community, and we need them to participate. Is that clear?
Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. And thank you for keeping it active again and current in our community.
Thank you.
Go ahead.